Well, it snowed a bit. It's actually melted quite a bit since when I first got back. That looks, it was actually looking quite more impressive than that when I first got back. Anyway, let's get set up here to share some more important info with everybody. Horse day today. Bit of snow, huh? A little different than hanging out on a beach on the other side of the planet. Looks like I'm pumping out a lot of these videos rapid fire since I've been back. But there's a goal, definitely working towards a goal, and it's going to take a few of these steps and procedures to reach it, but it's coming. But more importantly, right now, I received an email from a game warden, and I'm absolutely freaking excited to share this. I was actually very excited to read it. He also added in a Sasquatch experience in the email, but it's the first part of the email that basically almost made me jump up and down. Now, some of you might not find this exciting or interesting, but I know many of you will. And the reason why I'm absolutely stoked to read this is because over the years, I'm trying to figure out shit on my own. Like back when I was actually interested in seeking these things out intentionally after I've seen them a couple times. I was really, and as well, being a professional hunter, you're trying to figure it out. You're trying to figure out the secrets. You're trying to figure out the traits, the hows, the whys, and how to manage to beat them at their own game in a way, and put yourself in the right place at the right time. And while I was, not anymore, but while I was trying to figure that out, I was really looking at my grandfather's encounter story and a few other ones, and the facts. The points I was really focusing on is I was trying to figure out how these things knew we were coming. How do these things know we're there? And it was very, very obvious to me right off the bat years ago that these things know we're coming. They either know we're coming or they know we're there, but they know, and they know well ahead of time. And I had that firm thought in my head on my own a long time ago. And when my grandfather told me about his story, I was starting to wonder if it was due to having, actual earth in between you and one of these things, or the moving creek, because he ran into beside a moving loud creek, and numerous other stories, encounters I read of and heard of firsthand where people bumped into these things on creeks or riverbeds. And I was just trying to figure it out, and then later on, after I actually just dropped looking for these things intentionally altogether, and I started focusing on other people's encounters. And then, if you guys recall, I shared a story not too long ago from a pastor in the eastern U.S. who was walking that park, remember? And he saw one of these things, heard it in the bush. No, first he heard something taken off of the grass, couldn't see it, looked to the right, and there was this upright hairy being walking directly away from him, and as soon as he saw it and focused on his eyes, the thing stopped dead. Right? Now, I also made that video about our sixth sense. You remember that? Now, as I've been taking in knowledge from as many very intelligent people as I can over the past handful of years, it's been very, very apparent, very obvious that whoever it is who is in control of the main narrative in our existence, whoever is in control of the recipe, the limited recipe of knowledge that we are taught from a young age, it all has added up to us losing our original skills. I've always felt, I just had this weird gut feeling that we originally possessed a lot more skills, natural skills, than we are taught to utilize or actually be aware of. And there's a lot of people out there who have various skills that we don't naturally, and it's something else to watch, something else to see. You can Google up, dig it yourself. I don't have time to get into each one right now, but what I'm getting at is, listen to this story, okay? Listen to this. This is amazing, and it almost, in a way, makes me go, I knew it. I knew it. So, and again, thankfully, more commonly now. This gentleman left his name to share, okay? Now listen to this. This is awesome, and this will help a lot of you people who are in the know, a lot of you people who are curious. This is going to answer a few questions for you when it comes to these beings, and obviously ourselves too, right? Listen to this. My name is Doug Erickson. I'm a retired Minnesota game warden / pilot. My patrol area was in the northeastern part of the state, which is mostly wilderness. Feel free to use my name because, like you, I don't take crap from people either. Beautiful. And I hope that keeps spilling over to everybody. Everybody shouldn't take crap from anybody. Okay? Okay. In the 1980s, I was patrolling a very large lake in my patrol area on a very nice day. I decided to tie up the boat on the shore and walk across a peninsula to observe any fishing activity in the next bay. I spotted a man still fishing in a boat about 100 yards out from me. I concealed myself and sat down. He did not move once. I put my binoculars on him to see what he was up to. Within a moment, he started fidgeting. And looking all around. He had his back to me and turned and looked directly at me. I was completely hidden, so he did not hear or see me. He started his boat and came to shore about 30 yards down the hill from me and started looking around, under brush and behind trees. I thought that he must have hidden a pile of fish somewhere and decided to let him pick it up before I picked him up. He looked from side to side, back to where I was and all around. After a few moments of this, I realized he was looking for me. I was startled by this, but also very curious. As he walked around and started to get further away, I mentally told him to come back, and he did so each time until he walked to the bush in front of me, spread it apart, and looked right at me in the eye. I said, "How you doing?" And he said, "I knew someone was watching me." I said, "Have a seat and let's talk." We soon discovered that we were both Army vets, and he said that he had the skill while in Vietnam, and it saved his ass many times. I have felt this sixth sense many times when working, and always took it as a warning. Get the hell away and find another route. What this guy did was amazing. He knew I was not dangerous. I forgot to check his fishing license. After a feat like that, a handshake is more in order. How freaking crazy is that? How awesome is that? That is pretty incredible. And what a fortunate skill to have. What a fortunate place to be that well in tune with your true natural skills. Wouldn't that be freaking awesome to have that skill? Well, I'm pretty sure we all do. We're just out of touch with it. We've been, I'm firmly convinced personally that we've been conditioned to be out of touch with many skills that we were originally created with. But it just goes to show you, though, if these beings, these numerous beings that are out running around out here, obviously they are absolutely in tune with that sixth sense, whatever number it is. Could be their 10th sense for all we know, whatever. But obviously they are in tune. They know when we're coming. They know when we're there, and I have a feeling they know exactly what our motives are. Okay, actually there's a lot of people out there, very intelligent, very versed in these things, and they actually know this. But anyway, I'll tell his next part of the story. Jumping ahead 30 years or so, a group of us outdoor types shoot sporting clays, and we're sitting on the deck of the clubhouse, and the subject of Bigfoot came up. I mentioned that I had doubts about any primate living in the wild in Minnesota in the winter because they lose body heat too fast, and the calories needed would not be obtainable. We do get to minus 60 Fahrenheit and colder here. My teammate spoke up and said that he had seen one. He managed a mining supply company and was traveling between towns and had to take a leak. He pulled off side of the road close to where his hunting shack is and stopped by a power line. As he was doing his thing, he looked down the hill to a small swamp and saw a huge figure pulling cattails out. After a moment, the figure stopped, turned around and looked at him. Right? Again and again. How's that for a common detail? It then ran to a poplar tree, hid behind it, and looked at him from side to side. Not realizing that its shoulders were 4 times the width of the tree, nobody in the group said a word. 3 of us were retired law enforcement, some were loggers or miners, and log cabin builders. All outdoorsmen. I broke the silence and asked where he was exactly when this happened. He said right near Eveleth, Minnesota, close to me in one of our coldest towns. I've never seen or found sign of Bigfoot during my working hours, and if I had, I would have kept my mouth shut until retirement. My friend said that it spooked him, and he told no one except his wife and hunting shack partner. I believe my friend. There you go. How frickin' cool is that? I know, there's going to be a lot of you that don't think too much of that, but for me, because that sixth sense, that detail, that skill has been, I've had a huge, huge curiosity of that for a long time, for many years. So for me to read that story, that email last night, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool for me. And hopefully shed some light on a lot of you and helps you put a few of these puzzle pieces together so you can help understand some of the things that are going on out here that we are left alone to figure out for ourselves. But anyway, God, they make that hay sound delicious. But anyway, I think the last time I spoke, I promised everybody I would deliver a handful of names that I strongly, and there's a handful of other people that I'm familiar with, who as well strongly, firmly believe that this group of people I'm going to share with you right now are very solid characters when it comes to looking for shared knowledge. Nobody thinks they are an expert on this topic. Every single one of them says there are no experts. But if I had to label 2 or 3 people as experts, they're in this list right here. And let me dig it up on the old iPhone. Okay, so to give you a heads up, I mean, instead of you just relying on hitting the play button on any video from any group or individual, it's in trying to figure out where to find your knowledge from or who to listen to, who to trust, because you know what, let's face it, there is a bunch of people out there, the old school people, the crowd, who have held this narrative for a long time, and they have been absolutely proven without a doubt to manipulate information being shared. They have manipulated good, honest, hardworking people's stories before they deliver them to the public. They have used people, attacked people, discredited people, and annihilated people's careers, okay? And there's a lot of names out there, big, so-called big names in the Sasquatch Bigfoot community that are 100% guilty of these crimes, right? And their names will never be mentioned when it comes to sharing good, solid, honest knowledge. And I'm certain there's a lot of people out there missed in this list who are very credible and have a lot of good information to share. I just don't. I might not be familiar with them. I don't have their name right now. And but anyway, listen to this. Here's the list of names that I would absolutely encourage anybody and anyone to look into these people and look into what they have to share publicly. Okay. All right. My list is in no certain order. So one of the names comes up for certain is David Pilates. Very, very intelligent man, cares about people, authored a handful of books, absolutely investigated this topic and more. He has a pile of information to share with the public. He has, and in the past currently is, and he's working on future projects. And if I could suggest any of you listen to anyone and look into the knowledge that somebody's dug up to share, it's definitely Dave. All right? Scott Carpenter, another superb, awesome human being, very honest, has put in absolute shit piles of time of life into looking into these things and more things. And he has come up with a pile of honest information to share with all of you as well. Rich Germeau, retired law enforcement officer. There's numerous interviews you can find of him on YouTube. I would strongly suggest you listen to him. Obviously, he's a solid man, good human being, cares about people, very knowledgeable, and a no bullshit guy. And he has a pile of information that he obtained himself, and he's shared it with all the planet. M.K. Davis in Texas. He's done some fantastic work with the Patterson Gimlin film and much, much more. Very skilled guy with what he does online with his technology, his programs, his editing programs. Very intelligent guy. Randy Brisson in British Columbia, First Nations BC resident. Randy's acquired photographs of these things. I think he's got video. I'm going to go down and meet up with Randy pretty quick. We're going to set up the camera and have a good bullshit to share with all you guys soon. Who was a Les Stroud? Dove into the woods with him and had some pretty crazy encounters with these things. If you can, look into Randy Brisson. Bruce Maccabi is a physicist, explains how portals work, and are presently being studied by NASA and other governments. Okay, and take note. A portal opened above the Skinwalker Ranch. Google that one up. And in front of witnesses of Bigfoot, a Sasquatch crawled out in front of people, in front of witnesses. Okay, scientists, the whole gamut of people were there and saw this shit go down. It's what it is. Ron Moorhead. Ron Moorhead. He acquired the sound recordings numerous times from these things. Called the Sierra Sounds. I was actually just recently watching an interview of Ron and some items he shared to the world. This guy's been around, man. He has traveled the planet and looked directly into a number of different items himself and has acquired a shit pile of facts, photographs, and knowledge to share with all the people out there, and he has. And if you have the time, if you got the curiosity and the drive, go and check out the names that I just passed on to you, and see what they have to offer up to share with you. Because just out of that group of people right there, there's enough knowledge shared to give all a very clear picture of what's going on out here. Okay, strongly suggest it. Another thing too, I know I have dropped a couple plugs for my friends and their books they mailed me. Scott Carpenter has wrote this book. It's full of facts. All right, it's full of facts of what happened with the DNA studies when it comes to these things. Over 100 DNA samples are obtained. Scott was directly responsible for a handful of those. But this book is very, very important for all of you to read. Okay. This exposes a lot of truths. It exposes the shit show that's been going on within the Bigfoot research community for years. And it exposes who the guilty are when it comes to attacking and destroying good, honest people. Okay? Read this book. Dave Pilates, Canada 411, one of his latest books. He's authored a handful of books. A lot of you people wonder why I carry a firearm with me more times than I don't when I'm not hunting now. And I've been in contact with Dave numerous times. And, one of the facts that are going on in North America and other places of the world right now is people are being taken. That's a fact. Unfortunately, one of the sad facts that go along with these facts here is you can deliver to the public the literally hundreds of missing persons cases that have gone on and are going on today, and the majority of you basically just give off the sound of crickets. Stand staring at the screen, goes in one ear, out the other. And there's been numerous very experienced outdoors people have gone missing, hunting guides have gone missing. I have a feeling that a couple of people that I know probably know a little more than they have shared yet. Do I know directly what's taking these people? Nope. Do I have an idea? There's definitely a few guesses, and one of them's probably right. But either way, I live very, very close to one of the most extreme examples of missing people, which is, the Upper Pitt River area in British Columbia. There's a pile of people missing in Vancouver Island. No explained, it's just unexplainable. There's a pile of people missing not far from where I live, and well, I'm not that stupid. I mean, I've done some stupid shit, but I'll tell you what, when the fact is there are numerous hundreds of people going missing in North America today, especially right near where you live. Why would you not bring protection with you? Right? So, but anyway, that's a whole nother topic, but I would strongly suggest if you have a curiosity for the truth, for facts, read this book. Read this book as well, and read the other books from both of these guys, and look into the list of names that I mentioned and see what they have to offer up for you. Okay? Because it all put together paints a fairly clear picture to some amazing things that are going on our planet today that the people who are handling us, excuse me, don't want us to know. All right? And that's about it for now. There's no shortage of stories coming out. No shortage. And if I could pass on a message, over, I don't know, probably this past 6 months through emails, I started up conversations with various individuals, and then, I had to get, you move on, you're cracking open literally thousands of frickin' emails, and I lose touch with these people. And I know you know who you are. Hopefully you're still listening. If you are, I haven't stopped contacting you on purpose. It's just time. And it's not hard to lose you in the mix as I go. But I definitely want to come back and maintain contact with various people, especially the lady from the States and her husband who are having multiple bad experiences on the property. And you sent me a bunch of the pictures and some trail camera pictures of those things on your property that are very alarming. And I haven't forgot about you, and hopefully we're going to come out and actually see you with a couple friends this year shortly. There's another lady out there who emailed me about her work with horses and healing horses and actually communicating on a bit of a level with them. And I lost your email. I've been totally in the back of my head. I got to email that woman back, especially when it comes to this guy right beside me. He needs a little bit of attention. And I did get your email. Sorry I haven't replied. And yeah. There's a lot of you out there that I have emailed back, and I just haven't had the time to maintain that contact. But I'll get back to it, and I'll responding. So there you go. Another story, something to think about, and more pieces for you to help put your puzzle together. And if your name didn't make this list today, I'm either not aware of you, or you suck.